Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new unboxing or book review, and this time I'm going to share with you what you can find on Chapter Proof 2017 edition. So this is the new or the book with rules for Warhammer 40k. It's a way to try to keep the competitive and balance, but also to give extra books. It's the equivalent to the general handbook for Age of Sigmar. So here we go. It's a book on soft cover. The intention is to have something that is will be replaced almost every year. I think this is the intention, and it has 128 pages. So yeah, anyway, although it's soft cover, it will have been damaged in the courier on the way to my home. But okay, this is going to be a little bit of a battle book, no, or rule book. So inside we have full color pages, as all the books are now from Games Workshop, and all is more rules. So here we don't have fluff, and we have the rules divided in three. Well, we have what is called the open play, narrative play, and match game, and then we have the updates on the factions. And at the end we have some updates on points and other rules. So let's crack and go through the book. So first on open play, they explain that there is 3 ways to play. This is equivalent to what we have seen in Age of Sigmar, and they call it the narrative, the open narrative and match. As you can see, we also have very nice artwork. Not special from this book, most likely this artwork is coming from other books, but it's nice to have this here. And they start with Apocalypse, okay? So open play is mainly focused on Apocalypse, as far as I have seen up to now. I just give a very fast reading of the book. Yeah, and it's all about organizing Apocalypse and different missions and different ways to play Apocalypse. So Apocalypse now is part of, we'll say, it's part of the open play, and have always been like that. I think normally the objective of Games Workshop for a Apocalypse is just put on the table all the miniatures that you have and try to play with that. And normally, I guess this is the same. Is here more or less the same concept. Just put miniatures, don't count points. Just have a fun battle and try to balance and have to put some rules for balance, but don't care about really if it's match play or not. So, but although that on top that it is open play, you always can play this mission with points, of course. So yeah, this is an open play, and always in Age of Sigmar, I think these books have more options than what you really see at the first view, because you can try to play this as a part of a narrative game. Why not? You can use this also as maybe can be the end battle of a campaign. So always have a more open view than how it's put here, because you can combine a lot of the rules from one side to the other. So if you don't like just to drop miniatures on the table, you can still use these missions with match play rules, right? Then we go, well, there is Beyond Apocalypse, and there is more stuff about that. And then there is one thing that was very curious for me, that they talk about different Land Raiders types. So this is quite, so we start with, and they say that it's for open play, so it means that they don't have points. So it's just if you want to drop them, or at least I have not seen if they have points. I don't know if they have points at the end. But these are really just the rules, because we have also Forge Work at the end. So I will check, but I don't think they have points. But well, they have you can use the power points if you want. I think and yeah, although so it means that they are not for tournaments, but well, if you have the agreement of your opponent, why not to use it in other games? So, but we have all these type of variants of Land Riders. I will not go in detail, but we just have different types of Land Riders here. And we go to the narrative game. And then the narrative game, what I realize is that they're focusing on the Planet Strike. Okay, so of course, Planet Strike combined with well, Planet Strike is very narrative driven, no? Because you have one attacker, one defending, and it's simulating the missions of an enemy trying to how it's called is try to assault and apply another one defending. So I think from a narrative cinematic point of view makes a lot of sense. We have warlord traits specific for planet strike, and we have stratagems specific for planet strike. There were rules as well on the basic rule book, but here we have again the planet strike, and we have different scenarios, okay, as well. So I will go fast. We have also different types of deployment, and you can see the deployments are quite different, and we have to put fortifications, okay? Because it depends that the enemy is arriving, and then you are fortified, or you are in the range, try to defend, taking a defense position against the enemy attack. We have as well the stronghold assault, and of course you can combine, for example, you can start with a planet strike, and then from the planet strike go to the stronghold assault, and so on. So these are really two types of scenarios that can be combined very easily. Again, we have warlord traits specific for that. We have organization chat that are different for the attacker and the defender. Of course, you want to play these missions, you have to agree this inform with your opponent to know who is going to be the attacker and who is going to be the defender. And I see this a lot, combining one with Apocalypse as a part of a big campaign. So at least to do a narrative campaign. And then we have the stratagems here as well, okay? And we have breakthrough, bunker assault. I played some of them were even on 5th edition, I think, and were something that were very similar. For example, there was one that the defender had to cross over the attacker had to cross over the defender, and were something like that. So we have here the breakthrough, we have here the bunker assault, the all-out attack. So you see different deployments. So the crossfire, last stand where you have in the fortification, and yeah, and sometimes you even have to or add the points of the buildings to the defender, so the defender should have less army than the attacker normally to balance this. And then we have here explanation about the linear campaigns. Okay, so a way to do campaigns, and we have, as I said, all the rules and the PowerPoints. And I think narrative campaign is okay if you play with PowerPoints, because you don't need to go very accurate points. So you can use the PowerPoints, and then the army of the defender should be the PowerPoints of the army plus the PowerPoints of the buildings that is going to use, and the attacker have just the PowerPoints of the army, and they have to match. Okay. So what I mean, if imagine that you play 200 PowerPoints and you put a macro cannon, so your army should be 180 because you have 20 points on the macro cannon. For me, it's the intuitive way to balance. Okay, and then you have here the buildings. They don't say that it's only for match play, so if they have points, it's for a narrative game, so if they have points, you can also use it in match play if you want it. And then we go to match play, and in match play we have, they go focus on the missions, so we still have Eternal War and Milestone missions. I did not read if this is substituting the missions in the rulebook. I always like to think them as a complementary mission, so this is on top of the ones that you already have on the rulebook. So here we have 6 missions for Eternal War, and we have 6 missions for Milestone War. Okay, we have then this is quite a little bit of how to do your objective markers. Okay, we have some examples. Everybody can do that, and then we go in match play to faction rules, and here it's important because these factions means that they will not have a codex soon, I guess, because they put here what are the faction rules. We have here the warlord trait, we have some specific rules, we have one relic for each of these factions, and then we have a couple of stratagems, and we start with the Adeptas Sororitas, we have the Death Watch, again the relic, warlord trait, stratagems. We have the Ducati, only have one stratagem, so a little bit, we have the Genestealer Cult with 2 stratagems, the Harlequins, Imperial Knights, Necrons, Orcs. So these are all the ones that will not have codex by Christmas. Okay, so here we have all the different ones, and again, then we go to the appendix, and the appendix have some explanation about the battlefield terrain. Okay, we have the Sector Mechanicus, we have battle zone industrial walls. So this If you want to play Industrial War, you have some additional stratagems. And then we have the Battle Zone Empiric Storm. So if you're playing, for example, then you have, these are different objectives if you play in Empiric Storms. So these are like different type of scenarios or battle rules, okay? So like, we have something similar in AOS. And then we go to the ladder campaign and ladder campaigns and ladder of command. And finally we have the points, and here we see the updated points for the armies, and we have also updated points for Forge World. Okay, and yeah, here I will finalize, and then we have, this is not needed, I will never use these things, are the army roster and the detachment roster and so on. And here we have, if you want to do your own Land Raider. So this is what you find on chapter approved. Please leave the comment below. Let me know what do you think, if you like this book or not, if you find it useful. I think if, yeah, maybe for match play, if you only were looking for if you only interested on the rules for the Adeptus Sororitas, it's not worth it to invest. Here is more information to have different ways to play, more rules, and yeah, and also not just focus on the match play, and look also on the narrative and on the open play. So that's all for this. Please leave the comments below. Let me know what do you think about this book. And that's all for now. As usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you later. Bye.